Okay, everyone, we're gonna talk about my Tekken 7 journey, or at least I should just say my Tekken journey in general, because it's how Tekken 7 was when I got started in Tekken, right? Really quick about Tekken 8. Miyari Zoo just came out, or Miyari Zo, whatever. I think she kind of sucks. Okay, I haven't played since I think Fakaram came out. I haven't played the game. But I would say that Miyari Zo just looks a bit like Azucena, but a little bit better because she's DLC. Like, she just looks like she has no good lows, really stance reliant, but, you know, whatever. She's early. It's been like, what, 2 days since she came out. That's all I would say. She seems like Azucena, but just a teeny bit better, but not by much. So maybe she's like, I don't know, wherever I put her, Azucena, like A plus tier. Like, she's okay. Anyways, let's talk about my Tekken journey, right? So I just want to talk about, like, you know, we're just gonna be watching old matches, and I just want to talk about where I was in my Tekken journey, which pretty much relates to life and my life and the life of Tekken at the time. And I think it's really important to cover these two because that's how you get good in fighting games. Like, it's how you do in life, and it's how you do in the game, and that's how you do it. And today we're just gonna look at this, right? So the one thing that I would say is that this match was recorded. My first match I want to show you guys is recorded in July 20th of 2027, right? This was 2 years after the arcade release. The arcade release was in Japan and Korea, and whoever was rich enough to buy the fucking, you know, arcade cabinets came out on March 18th, 2015. It was not until 2 years later when everyone around the world would be able to buy this game. So this is about 1 month after the game released, right? And then these are Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, which we'll go on to and talk about later, right? One thing that I want to highlight was that, let's talk about this. This was the first Tekken game to ever come out on PC, right? So it was a big deal. It was a really big deal. Could you believe that it was on Microsoft Windows? This is also on Steam, right? Came out on Steam, and it was really big. So the thing about Tekken 7 I want to say is that there was no such thing as crossplay. If you bought this shit on Xbox, that bitch was dead. Barely any player base. The highest rank there was like Genbu, and that's where Shadow 20Z came from. He was a fucking Xbox player. That's some lore shit right there. That motherfucker was an Xbox player. Anyways, and then PlayStation players was kind of like where the biggest one was. The reason why there are more people on the PlayStation side was because that's where most people played Tekken, right? Tekken Tag 2, or was it Tekken Tag 2, was on PS3. People played it on the PS3 because it was free online. That's it. Could you believe that? PS3 had free online. You didn't have to pay to play online, man. I missed that shit. Anyways, and there's also Tekken Revolution, which was on the PS3, right? And that's where people played. But then that's why the biggest player base was in the PS4 time, because everyone who had a PS3 transitioned to PS4, and that's where the biggest player base was. The reason why there was not that much people in Tekken 7 on Steam yet was because it was just such a weird concept to play a fighting game on a PC. Like, I remember this. It was just really odd. That's what I remember. But anyways, so we're gonna talk about this like beginning screen, right? So July 20th, 2017. This was the Season 1 of Tekken 7. I should say, like, you know, worldwide release. Like, the arcade version, this is based on the arcade version's like matching system, right? So in the arcade version, it would match like this. It would tell you what cabinet you're playing with, and their username, and whatever the fuck area they're from. You would see like their Wi-Fi or like their connection. You see the character they're playing. So let me tell you, when this game was first released, this was a month after release. You could see the player username, their indicator, like connection indicator, the character, and I think their like win rate with the character. And you could cherry pick whether or not you wanted to fight this person. So if you knew that you sucked ass fighting against like Shaheen or King, you could just say no, and you would just wait back in the lobby. And the thing that's really funny about this first iteration of online is that they didn't have an indicator if anyone was on Wi-Fi. So pretty much everyone was on Wi-Fi, by the way. And the majority of PlayStation matches were all 3 bars, man. And I think the thing about this was that it was just how people played PS3 too, was that no one gave a fuck. Everybody who played on PS3 was fucking just playing on Wi-Fi, and that was the trenches, bro. Everybody was playing with no Ethernet.
Get to go up against a large player.
Oh, let me pause this too. Look at how clean this shit is. I miss it. Like, I was just... Let me tell you how I got to talking about my Tekken journey and thinking about it, right? I was just watching Tekken 8 videos. You get a Tekken 7 video recommended you. You go down a rabbit hole. You start to think about how you got there. You know what I mean? So I started to go back. I compiled a few Tekken videos of mine that I recorded or it was on YouTube with my player name. I can still find my player name, by the way. And, you know, you could just look that shit up and you just watch your old matches. But look how clean this shit was, man. It was really clean. And I just loved it. It's just like all the nameplates are so clean compared to Tekken 8, man. I don't know what it is. Like, Tekken 8 was a big step at what it was. But it's kind of like, maybe it's just nostalgia speaking. But you go back and this shit was just so clean, man. It was like, this wasn't cluttered. It was just so easy. Oh, let me just say something. 43 wins and 47 wins. Look at these fucking scrubs. Blue ranked. Blue rank. At this time, the highest rank was like warrior. 1 month in the game, warrior rank. You are fighting like knee and shit, dude. Oh, yeah. So before, I'll just say this. At this time, my experience with Tekken was I only played Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 6, but I was a casual. I got Tekken 6 from going to a friend's house, and that's how I got introduced to it. And I went to like Half Price Bookstore, got Tekken 6 for $10 there, and I played it after I got Tekken Tag 2. I got Tekken Tag 2 after it was on sale on Xbox Live Arcade for $20, and that's how I got it, and it was so tight. I enjoyed customizing it. I didn't know shit. Look how bad these people are playing. He's not even blocking shit. But anyways, and yeah, and then I got Tekken 6, and I said, wow, Tekken 6 sucks. Let's go back to Tag 2. And then I got Tekken 7. So, let me tell you at this time. July 20th of 2017. I literally just got, like, money from my summer job. And I had a PS4 at the time, right? So I was like, oh shit. I used to play Tekken. We might as well spend our summer job, you know, income on this shit. And that's what I did. And then I believe I was still such a casual. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that because this was such a new Tekken entry, I said to myself, I'm gonna get good at this game. Like, I wanted to be the best Tekken player ever. I still remember this to this day. I said I wanted to be the best Tekken player ever, and that was one of my goals was to become good. But let me tell you when I say I wanted to become good, because it's not like trying to be like playing a tournament and shit. At the time, I didn't even have the concept of a tournament in my mind. Like, I didn't understand that. At the time, I only knew that there were leaderboards because I was a casual. I've only played Overwatch, and I've only played like Call of Duty. So I only knew leaderboards. I didn't know that tournaments existed and shit. I thought it was just like, oh man, the leaderboard's all that matters. And I didn't know there was such thing as cheating on a fucking game like this, okay? I was a casual. But that's where I started. So I mean, you could just tell from the gameplay how rough this is. And let me tell you guys, like, Eddy and Lars are the two worst characters in the game. Like, at this time, they were the two worst characters. Eddy can't sidestep, and Lars had no counter hit game, and he's just so slow. He had no counter hit tools other than down back forward. And like I said, Eddy can't sidestep when it mattered so much. The only thing that Eddy had was a good backdash, but even then, no one used him. He didn't even have like a good counter hit game too. Look at how clean this shit was. Oh yeah, so let me highlight this. You see what's missing here? I bet you guys can't tell. Well, actually, what's missing is the progress board. Where are you on your rank, your rank journey? There was no such thing as a progress. Like, you couldn't tell what, if you're promoting or demoting. You just kept playing, and as long as you saw your name was highlighted, time to promote, you just better win that match. And if you saw it was demoting, you just better not lose that match. But yeah, so at this time, no idea what's going on. This is me and my Tekken journey. So I just didn't care. I just loved playing the game because it was just so fun, man. I just remember how fresh it felt, and it was just like so new. I've never played a fighting game, and it was just so fun, you know. So we're gonna jump forward 1 year later. So this is now, what is it, 2018 February 17th. I couldn't find any footage from 2017ish, and it was just pretty bad anyways, like, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, right? So this was December, right? And if we look back at the picture, season 2 had just come out. So you could tell that it was season 2 too, because of the color of the life. The life bars would change depending on what season it was, right? So let me tell you something. Showbiz 54 was I would just say, like, I've played Tekken 7 so much, I could tell if, like, I've ran into this player before, and I could tell if they were good or not. That's how much I played Tekken 7. Like, if I was good fighting against them, right? So Showbiz 54 was a name that I definitely remember seeing in tournament, like actual tournament brackets eventually, but he was never like a top 8 placement, as far as I can remember. I don't remember running him into much as well in, like, what is it, like the later game, like the later half of season 4 of, like, or at least the later life cycle of Tekken 7, when everyone was just good, right? I don't remember running into Showbiz 54 at all, but I remember seeing him from time to time in online tournaments. I don't know if he ever entered ICFC, but I remember seeing Showbiz 54 in Twitch. That's what I would say. I've seen his username in Twitch before. But yeah, like, I swear, I played it so much. I watched so much Twitch streams. I would know, and like this, I would be like an encyclopedia. Like, I'm not even joking. I'd be like, oh, this player, I know this player. I know what they play. Like, damn, like, I fucking knew that shit, like, really well. But it's been a while. But if I remember a name, I will try to be like, give you guys some info on them. But yeah, so let me tell you what happens a year later. So a year later, I still don't know much about the game, other than it's just, I'm just playing on feeling. Okay, I'm just playing on feeling, and I don't think I really have any combos. So when I say I'm playing on feeling, I don't have any like frame traps. I don't know what tools I could use at the time. I just feel like, man, oh my god, I just want to use this move because it's gonna launch this motherfucker. That's all I knew. Or I just wanted some effect. And when I say effect, I just wanted a counter hit. I didn't even know what a counter hit was. I was like, you know what? I feel like throwing down back 4 out. I just throw it out. So at this time, Lars had no counter hit tools other than down back 4, which is why he sucked. But let me tell you guys, look at this. Showbiz 54, 104 wins, 1,586 wins, right? Holy shit, this guy was just playing. He did not give a fuck. There's no such thing as training mode. It's just ranked. But that's what I did. So I just played based on feeling. This is a real setup, by the way. Armor move, which was like down forward 1+2 into down forward 3, was a setup if they held back. Damn, he didn't even block the snake edge. Yeah, but I think at this time, all I was focusing on was just feeling and just doing some kind of combos. Oh, that reminds me something that's so important. Oh, look at me saying, oh my god. I have voice recording on this video too. So one thing I want to highlight about this video was that at this when Tekken 7 was released, there was no such thing as a tutorial mode, which is why my wins are so high. No idea how to play the game. Could you believe that? There's no such thing as a tutorial mode for a fighting game. Tekken 7 had nothing, but Tekken 8 does. So, let me tell you how that happened, right? I believe what had happened was they kind of just forgot about it. I'll be honest, the devs kind of just forgot about it because of how Tekken Tag 2 did. So, we're gonna pause this really quick because I can't really focus. So maybe we'll just lower the volume. One thing I will say was that Tekken 6 was like a competitive aspect. It was really good. People loved it, but it was really focus heavy on Bob. But then when Tekken Tag 2 came around, they invested a lot of money in it, and obviously it didn't do that well for newcomers, didn't do that well in sales, and didn't do well in the competitive scene. So why is that the case? Because Tekken Tag 2 felt like they didn't really reiterate much on, what is it, the Tekken 6 formula, which is pretty much just moving around, right? Moving around, no such thing as like a rage drive mechanic. It's just the same rage thing, but you have another character, right? And having another character is also really hard for newcomers. So you're telling me I have to learn the frame data for 2 characters, and I have to learn how to master 2 characters to play with in order for me to get good at this game. That's a huge investment, which is why I don't think we're going to be having Tekken Tag 3 anytime soon, which sucks. But so pretty much it isolated the audience. If you're a newcomer, you're not going to play Tekken Tag 2 most likely, and it was pretty much just the core players, right? Which is why when they went to Tekken 7, I think they just like forgot about it, because they're just like, oh, let's just appeal to the core audience. If you guys didn't know too, Tekken 7 was supposed to be the last title in the franchise, because Tekken 7, what is it, Tekken Tag 2 sales are just so dog shit. Oh, look at this guy knows some fucking combos. A year later. So yeah, I only knew combos, no sidestepping, no frame data, nothing. But I was just learning how to feel for my character right now. Anyways, let's go back into Tekken 7, right? Or at least the absence of a tutorial for Tekken 7. So because there is an absence, that's how Tekken creators, or at least content creators, came to be. So because Tekken Tag 2, oh, we should talk about Tekken Revolution. But Tekken Revolution was kind of like a mid-game, a free-to-play game that was, when I say mid-game, it was in the middle of Tag 2 and Tekken 7. And it was how the devs got money to make Tekken 7. It was a free-to-play game, and you had like 5 arcade tokens. And if you lost a match, you lost a token. And if you wanted to get a token back, you could get microtransactions, or you could wait for like 6 hours for you to replenish one, right? It was a really early concept of a free-to-play fighting game, which I thought was okay, but it didn't really stick the landing, okay? But because at the time Tekken Tag 2 did so bad, no one really cared about it. So there was only a really little content creators like Eris and Main Man and Rip. Other than that, there wasn't like really anyone out there who's really making Tekken content, right? So that's kind of what happened between Tekken Tag 2 and like Tekken Revolution. There's like barely anyone. I remember watching Main Man talk about how Eliza was a whore, and you had to, in order to get Eliza, you had to get like 10,000 like blood essence, and you could get blood essence from fighting people, and you had to pretty much farm that shit. It was like 1,000 matches to get Eliza for free, and it was terrible, dude. Their first 2D character. It was really special for them. Oh, video stutter. I think there's something wrong with the video encoding. Uh-oh. Well, let's just talk a little bit about that. So, we'll skip to the next one. So, what is this? 2008, May 13th. So, I'm now Vanquisher, which is not that high of a rank. I believe when you're Vanquisher, you're like okay, but Genbu was like where you wanted to be at. If you're like Genbu, you're like a good player. But this means that you were on the leaderboard. So as long as I saw my name on the leaderboard, that's all I cared for. And I still didn't know frame data at the time. But anyways, let's talk about the absence of the tutorial. Without a tutorial, it meant that in Tekken 7, it meant that you had to go find a teacher, or at least how to play the game. So that's how people started to look on YouTube and find, information on it. And that's how people learned about Eris, Main Man, Rip, and other creators at the time. Tekken 7 was also a point in which people started to make content for Tekken, which I thought was pretty impressive, because it was kind of like the Borderlands 2 effect. And the Borderlands 2 effect, damn, look at this fucking rage quitting little bitch. At the time, Borderlands 2 came out at a time where there's like barely any YouTube content creators, and that's like when Machinima started to come around and people would do like gameplay too. It was kind of like the surge, right? This big surge into like the public eye is what I would like to say. So that's kind of what happened with Tekken 7, was because the absence of a tutorial, people looked for guidance, and that's how people learned about content creators, and that's how they got big in the Tekken sphere. That's what I would say happened. And that's how I learned about Eris and Main Man and Level Up Your Game and some Korean players. at this time, no one even knew about Pakistan too. Like, let me tell you guys, no one knew about Pakistan. Everyone was putting like Akuma on the B tier, bro. People thought Akuma was dog shit because he didn't play Tekken and no one knew how to use him. But the Pakistanis knew. They said that he was like S+ at this time still. And at the time, the devs were only nerfing or balancing characters based on Tekken World Tour. So I believe it was only JDCR and Saint who was winning at the time, and they were in Echo Fox. And it was pretty much just Knee, Dragunov, and Devil Jin all everywhere. That's it. Damn, look at these guys. These fucking scrubs not even ducking strings and punishing shit. So Lars had down forward 2-1, which was a mid-high at the time, that they would eventually change to be mid-mid and be -14. But yeah, man, so I didn't know, because there's no tutorial, I just played the game, and I only focused on feeling. Oh damn, this guy actually has combos. I think at this time, I was only looking at like combo videos and just going from there, but I didn't know any frame data. So I only played based on, like I said, feeling and just trying to just do shit. Look at this corny ass fucker. Limited entry 1. So yeah, that used to be the old limited entry 1. You had to do upward 3+4 and then hit 1 and it would be a low. And that's not a mix up. It's like, it was just so poop. This was just such a corny ass move to do. Oh, encoding. Well, I don't know if encoding is gonna work. But yeah, man, one thing I will tell you guys about this time in my life was, what is it, 2018 in May? I was probably in my last year of high school because I graduated early. So every time I finished school, like the school day, I would just come home and play Tekken. And let me tell you guys, like homework was so easy. I would finish that shit at school and I just come home and have the rest of the day to play. And even after graduating early, I just played. There were just days where I just wake up, play Tekken, and then just go back to sleep. I would barely eat that day. Play Tekken, go to sleep, and then repeat the thing until I went to work. I had a part-time job too. So what is this now? 2018, October 2019. I mean, October 29th. So this is still a month after Season 2's release date. Dude, look at this. Yeah, Season 2 just came in here. Anna has just joined. Wow, Anna just joined. Lei just joined. So I think at this time I'm Genbu now. So it's been like a year since Season 1. I barely know frame data. If I remember correctly, I had a feeling on how to use Lars. I know some combos. I know some combo. Oh my god. Oh, so atrocious to look at. I know some combo routes, but I didn't know frame data. Look at this, man. All I did was play ranked. 50% win rate. Jeez. But Lars is such a dog shit character. Yeah, we're gonna skip a little bit. Dude, look at how much characters there are. Just remove these 4. I think Eliza was a pre-order bonus too, yeah. So you remove these 5 and you had this much characters as a starting roster. Just look at that. This much characters as starting roster. And that's how much you had. It was so amazing. So amazing. Because they really poured everything into this one. They're just like, man, fuck it. We might lose money on Tekken 7, so we just let the motherfuckers have all the characters that we have right now. It was so tight, dude. I believe the only original character was... Here, we'll skip a little bit. The only original characters were Master Raven, which is kind of a spin-off. Shaheen, so there's 1, 2, 3. Akuma. Kazumi. 5. Lucky Chloe. Gigas. 6. Claudio. 7. Katarina. 8. Josie. 9. I think that was it. Is that right? Yeah, so there's like some characters that were new, but they appeared in the arcade version as well. And it was just okay. They were pretty good. They were pretty good. Way better than Lars, I'll say that. But we'll skip a little bit. So at this time, like I'm saying, you could tell that I know combos, right? I know, oh, I understand there's a concept of a tornado spin and shit like that, you know? I know I could do this. I know I could kind of change some of the combo routes if I had to. But I didn't understand frame data. And let me tell you guys something. There was no such thing as frame data in this fucking game. Could you believe that? So, I believe it was Tekken Revolution that had no frame data. Tekken Tag 2 had no frame data. Tekken 6 had no frame data. But I think Tekken 5 DR did. But because they just removed frame data in this game, you could tell if a player was good or not. And they understood the game. Because they knew what was unsafe and what was safe. And you had to just go to the training lab. And you just had to motherfucking lab that shit. See, record the character and then just hold back. See if that shit was unsafe or safe. And I think to this day, you could still purchase the frame data on Tekken 7 for like $8. And the frame data for Tekken 7 did not come out till Season 3. Or Season 4. I don't remember. But yeah, it was crazy. It was so wild. So that's how I didn't understand frame data. I didn't understand what it was because whenever I would watch Airs or Main Man talk about it, I couldn't see it. So I just didn't get it. You know what I mean? Because there was no visualization, I just couldn't tell what I was, what the concept was about. You know what I mean? I believe at this time, everyone was still on Wi-Fi. Oh man, this guy is not ducking Claudio strings. 4-4, you could duck that. I think at this time, I only knew that I wanted to get good at a game, right? So at this time, when I was in Genbu, I was saying, hey, why am I losing so much? So I really did try to understand frame data. And if you could see there, that's the only punish I knew as Lars. I was still trying to get used to Lars, but I knew that he had some kind of punishing. And forward 2-4 was the only punishing move I knew that I felt comfortable doing. I just didn't have that reaction to do like Arc Blast or Blue Bolt or anything else. I just knew that, oh, a lot of moves are probably -12, so I'll just do forward 2-4 because I felt comfortable doing that. Man, look at Claudio down 2-2. Starburst, -11 low launcher. So good. But I didn't understand anything. I was just like, oh, it's probably -12. I'll just see if it works or not, and I'll just do it. I mean, just look at how clean the gameplay is. There's no such thing telling you if it's a counter, how much damage you're doing. It's just so clean. Just look at how clean the gameplay is, man, compared to, what is it, Tekken 8. Yeah, see, I missed a punish there too. I didn't know anything. I was just kind of playing a feeling and just trying to punish whatever moves I saw I blocked. So I didn't even know if it was safe or unsafe. It's crazy. And this guy was Genbu, and Genbu was considered good. So at this time, if you were at like Mighty Ruler or like, what is it? What's the one? Revelant Ruler or some shit like that, you were good. So I was always like 4 below. I guess it's kind of the same effect as Tekken 8, where no one understands frame data, but they're like Tekken King and Tekken Emperor. It's the same thing. As long as you had the guts and you knew some feeling, you knew combos, you could do it. But yeah, I didn't really have the concept of frame data at all. Man, oh yeah, so now they also added a progress bar in Tekken 2. Oh yeah, let me talk about this. Or Season 2, I should say. So, if you lost, let's say I was Byakko. If I got demoted, you're starting in the middle and you'd play there. You don't play at the end, and if you win one match, you automatically get Byakko back. You start in the middle and you have to farm it. I remember there were just days in high school where if I just got demoted and it was late at night, motherfucker had to go to sleep all sad, all crying, all sad and shit, because I didn't have time to fucking get that shit back, You just be like, damn, I guess tomorrow I'll just have to go and try to get that shit back again. It was it was rough, man. That was that was time. But that's what it was. I believe at this time they just added wall bounce in this game as well, which was not that cool. I mean, some characters are really good wall bounces, but Lars had his stuck behind stances, so like silent entry 1, dynamic entry 3, which is not a homing mid. It was just like a plus on block mid, a +6, and push people back. So it was like a WoW running 3, but it was hidden behind the stance. So yeah, I think at this time too, I just didn't understand matchup knowledge. So I don't know what strings I could duck. I don't know what, you know, what's unsafe, what's not. I just like played on feeling. This guy fucking sucks. One thing I will say is that like you really just don't see people play like, I don't know, man. Tekken 7's like mechanics are, you could just tell someone was good. Okay, so one thing, what I mean by that is like you could just read the mind of the players when you watch. I don't know if you guys are at that concept, but it's kind of like when you get really good at a game, or at least Tekken I should say, you can start to read the mind of the players and you could feel what they're reaching for. And one thing I really like about Tekken 7 is that like I still remember how I feel, and occasionally I could see how some people are playing and what was going on in their mind, right? It's a really cool ability. Damn, wake up, Blue Bolt. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Is he gonna die? Oh. If I did silent entry 1, he would have died instead of down forward 1. Corny ass Tekken 8 armor move. Is he gonna rematch? Is there enough time to rematch? Oh, this guy got balls. But yeah, man. One thing I would just say, like the mechanics in Tekken 7 was everyone had a delayed hop kick, right? And that's just something that you don't see in Tekken 8, which I think is just so sad, because if you got delayed hop kick in this game, you were fucking disrespected. That was a sign of disrespect, because the only time you'll use that is if someone does like a launch punish roll low and you knew that you had to do this because this was the most optimal. Like if you had McGill, you would do it. Like Sephi Black used to play McGill and do that. But if you just threw it out in neutral and you knew that it was gonna kill someone, that was major disrespect. Joey Ferry used to do it near the end of Tekken 7's life cycle as Marduk and just shit on so much bitches with that. It was so tight, dude. But yeah, no one even does running tackle in Tekken 8. No one does running, you know, punching, running grapple punch. It's like you just don't see this shit no more in Tekken 8. And it's like just the core mechanics of Tekken 7 alone was just so special, dude. You could do down 4 without getting launched. That shit was only -11. But you're -4. But that's in Tekken 8 as well. But yeah, WoW standing 3 with Lars, that shit was not launch punishable. It just pushed back. I think it was like +3. So it was really bad. Or like +6. It was still dog shit. It was just like 20 frames. This guy fucking plugged. Oh my god. Look at these fucking scrubs. There's no penalty for leaving too in this game. Anyways, we're gonna skip like 2 years later. And I think we're gonna end here. That's gonna be it for talking about Tekken Journey for now. So this is still before I got good, right? So let's talk about this. So this is 2 years later, and this is 2020 March 29th, right? 2020 March 29th. So we are in the middle of season 3, almost season 4. So at this time I'm in college, and anytime I came home from college, I still had my PS4 around. I would just boot that bitch up and play this shit. I remember I would come home and just play it, or when I was at my apartment at the time I was living with like my family or my sister, I would just boot that shit up. I just play that shit. I wouldn't give a fuck about homework. I was like, C's get degrees, and I just played this shit. Do not follow C's get degrees. If you're in college, you better aim for the fucking A. That's all I would say. They will chase you. Alright? Learn from me. They will chase you. Okay? C's do not get degrees. You gotta get the A's. But let's talk about this, right? Tekken 7's, they started adding the matchup win rate and the world win rate and stage win rate, which is something that I think was really important for people who cared, right? So matchup win rate, this was like a 50-50. This was with all the data that they have collected, right? What was it? Personal win rate, stage win rate. This is something that you didn't have to like fucking exit like in fucking Tekken 8, and be like, oh shit, let me go to see my player data and see what my win rate is. Like, you could just read the shit. It was so tight, dude. Anyways, the other thing I want to talk about was what was going on in 2020. So this is, I believe, 2 years after like the last video. So at this time, I actually learned like a lot of frame data. How I learned frame data was there's still no frame data that was purchasable at the time, I believe. The way how I did it was I used to go to my grandma's house and I would bring my PS4 everywhere I went. So when I want to go to my grandma's house, I bring my PS4. I would just boot that bitch up in the living room, and every time I was there, I would lab a character. Lab 2 to 3 characters to understand what was unsafe and what was not. And that's how I got good with the characters. But I didn't really understand like what the concept or the core of the character was until I just played online, and I would just gain the core knowledge of the character that way, which is really rough. The other thing that I would like to say too is because of where I'm from, like location wise, I didn't have much people who played Tekken. And so without having people to play Tekken with you, you can't learn fast. I had to just rely on the internet, rely on going online to play against people. So I didn't have matchup knowledge. So you just fight yourself or like a really shitty CPU, and you just don't understand the concept of a character. But that's how I started to learn frame data, and that's how I got Tekken God Prime. So the thing about being in Season 3 Tekken God Prime was that you could cherry pick in this game, but it was still like, people were still good. I believe Tekken God Prime was still achievable, and I was like, wow, I'm at the top of the leaderboards, like I must be kind of good. But at this time, what I really struggled with was I remember fighting a king, and his name was like the People Senpai or Senpai People or something like that, and he was like a Tekken god, and you could farm this guy for days because there's infinite rematching, and I was just be plus 550. I just kept farming this motherfucker, and I didn't give a fuck. I just kept farming this motherfucker, and I got Tekken God Prime, right? The other thing that I wanted to say was I didn't really understand frame data still, like, because I didn't understand like matchup knowledge, so I didn't really understand what moves I would really duck. I only knew frame data to a certain degree, but I also didn't know how to sidestep. So if you want to learn how to sidestep, you can watch my tutorial, learn how to step in threes. At the time, sidestepping, whenever I asked like Eris or like watch like JDCR on Twitch, they just be like, if you know it, just step it. So I still didn't get it. So it takes a while. You got to really understand what the character does and frame data in order to implement that. So at this time, it's like 3 years in my Tekken career, I still didn't understand sidestepping. And I had a good feel for my character. I knew combos, but I don't think I understand punishment or character knowledge or character matchup that well yet. So let me tell you guys about Gigas. Gigas is the Tekken 8, one of the earliest concepts of Tekken 8 and Tekken 7. His core mechanic was he was a 50-50 character, and he would be plus. So he'd be a plus character. Like he would put you in a situation where you're super minus and he's plus, and you have to guess if it's a mid or high, like in Tekken 7. It's an unlockable high or a safe mid that wall splats, and kind of pretty much homing. That was him. I think at this time they also didn't have a Wi-Fi indicator. Damn, look at his title, God of Destruction. And Emperor was not. It was a high rank, but it wasn't like as high as Tekken God Prime. Oh yeah, look at that wall bounce. I don't remember what they implemented in Season 3 other than like a big patch note change. I don't think they even added wall bounce. Wall bounce was in Season 2. Damn, I think Season 3 they added like new rage drives for people and shit. Oh, I missed a punish there. Uh-oh. Lag. But what happened, I don't think Gigas is ever returning, is because they gave his moves to Jack. So it's sad. Oh, look at this. That's a 50-50. So that is either a mid that's wall splats and he's -9. Like Gigas is -9, or it's an unlockable high. Look at this move. Silent entry 4. homing counter hit. I mean, just homing launcher. Armor move. I missed that. They need to bring that back. The 7 entry 4 now sucks dick. So yeah, I would say that I had a really good feeling of Lars, but I still didn't understand matchups. Like you could see I'm not sidestepping gigas. There's still some strings that I'm not ducking as well. So I'm still like missing some parts like that I don't get. I don't understand how to fight some characters. The one thing that I will say about Gigas is that Gigas was probably the worst character. One of the worst. Probably the same tier as Lars. He could not sidestep. He's really clunky, no counter hit tools, and that was it. Like his 50-50s were okay too. But everybody played this game as if you had to just sidestep and backdash for the rest of your life, and his backdashing was dog shit. He's so big you can't like sidestep too, and because Gigas was so big you could get big boy combos on him. Ooh, sidestep. Nice punish. Gigas had a really good 10-frame punish too. Oh yeah, look at that back too. That's the mid right there. Forward 1+2. That's a while running 1+2. Man, he doesn't know the unblockable rage drive. That was sick.
Round 2. Fight.
I will say, man, like, yeah, I didn't know much about frame data. That's like -14, I believe. Damn, his homing move forward 1+2, 1+2. The thing about most Gigas players like hazuremetal, that one Asian used Gigas till the end of time. But hazuremetal had to switch to like Marduk. Marduk was just a way better Gigas in all round. Better grappling, better 50-50s, better Oki, everything. And it was really sad because Gigas, if you watch a really good Gigas, it was so tight. I don't know if there were any Korean Gigas players. I could only think of hazuremetal, and there's like one more Japanese player. He still plays. I just saw him play recently, but it's been a while, man. Hazuremetal is the only one I really remember. There's another guy that starts with a Y, but I do not remember his full name. Yeah, at this time, I think I was still pretty solid as Lars, but not like the shit, you know. But I think that's all we're gonna talk about Tekken 7 today. That's just like the journey. So I wouldn't say that I got good in Tekken. I wouldn't say that I got really good in Tekken 7 until maybe early 2021. I mean, I was probably good here, but like, you know, I didn't feel that fluid yet. It was mainly just purely on feel and pretty much like, I don't know, like knowing some block punish knowledge, but I didn't like sidestep, and there were just some characters that I just struggled with a lot, you know. That's what I would say. Yeah, let's watch one more. This is really nostalgic. Look how clean this is. We're gonna skip this. So we are gonna go 7 months. Oh, should we go 7 months in the future? No, we'll go 4 months in the future. So this is, this is a clip. We're just gonna go. Oh yeah, this is like a clip I have. We're not gonna watch all these. Although let's talk about some players. JFK was one of the characters, one of the players I watched. He was kind of like a Mokujin, and I would watch. He was part of the EU. So this is like, so Twitch also started to, at least Tekken 7 started to blow up on Twitch, right? It had like a community of following, probably kind of like Tekken 8, but it was, in my opinion, I don't know. I can't really say. I want to say it was cooler, but I can't really say because I'm not in Tekken 7. The reason why I say it was cooler was just because everyone was helping each other. That's it. Everyone knew how tough Tekken 7 was, and there's no tutorial, so everyone was helping each other in the Twitch communities. I don't know any of these characters or any of these players. Oh, this is Leffen. Leffen's probably just getting his ass beat. What is this? Knacha? I forgot. I used to see him, but I swear I just saw his name. And then Azriel. I don't know who the fuck that is. Isn't Knacha still a player these days? I think his name just slightly changed. Sion. I don't know who this is. Anyways, we're gonna keep going. I don't know what these names are, dude. I'm so sorry for like the quality of this video, but it's just so dog shit, man. It's just what the video was. Oh, Fergus. Oh my God, UIU. Man, UIU was a really cool team. Yeah, Kazumi was like top tier at the time too. Choxy, I don't know who these guys are. No idea. Right when I was saying I knew everybody. Oh my God, the Korean players in Tekken 7 was so tight. Let me talk about the Korean players really quick. Lohai skipped the beta of fucking Tekken 8. He said, "Fuck that shit. Tekken 7 is still a good game," and he would play the shit out of Tekken 7 when everyone was playing the beta. I remember that. Like Tekken 7, Lohai was ahead of his times. Everyone was like, "Lohai, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Tekken 7 sucks. Let's play Tekken 8, man." How wrong we were. How wrong we were. But, so, the thing about the Koreans was that they would deathmatch. If you were a Tekken God Prime, someone else was a Tekken God Prime, you had to motherfucking deathmatch. They did that all the time. So even the best players would be in true Tekken God. If you were NA, most likely you wouldn't even do deathmatch. You'd be like, "Fuck it, man. I got my highest rank. I'm done." And you would just call quits. But these Korean players on a different level. CBM too. CBM and Justice. Maybe we should watch the Korean players. So this is when I started to understand and the concepts of Tekken to the point where I could watch Koreans too and be like, "Oh, let me try to copy their styles and see if I could like learn more about Lars." Oh, this was so tight. Paul had a rage drive reset. Dude, look at his bar. You could fill this shit up and pretty much not get anything. But the Koreans did it because they loved it. And if CBM just kept losing, he would just keep gaining infinite points that would go nowhere. it would just be full. And if he were to lose a match, then he would actually lose it. It wouldn't be infinite. It's so weird, right? It would just be overflowing. But yeah, Paul had a rage art that he could cancel and it would reset damage scaling. So you could just do it infinitely. Well, not infinitely, but you just do a lot of damage. I don't know who these are. Way Gamble, Mando Savage. I lost to Way Gamble in a lifetime. Dude, look at the disrespect. This is what I'm talking about. Walk up, delayed hop kick. Oh my God. Disrespect, dude. Disrespect. Damn. Mando Savage is someone who I don't see anymore too. LMG Mob. Oh my God, he's so cool. He was the best Lars. I still claim him to be the best Lars globally. And then best NA Lars is Conflict. Damn, look how cheap Geese is, dude. 2D characters. Damn, look at this like 240p video. No, Sol. Oh yeah, Sol Naciente. Sol Naciente is a king player now. Doom Danny. Doom Danny doesn't even play the game anymore, right? He's like probably an Azucena player now. Doom Danny was like one of the top tier Lucky Chloe players, and then Sol Naciente switched to a fucking king. Look at the damage. Holy moly. Oh, that was so tight. Baited that shit out. Anyways, let's keep going. Oracle, oh yeah, versus Vive. I don't know who that is, but these are EU players, I believe. Anna was a 50-50 character, but she wasn't that good because you could option select most of her choices. It was pretty good, man. Like, you had to make sure they tech rolled or some shit or be super... Just set them up to do it. It was really tight. Oh, no, this is what I was going to talk about. So, I believe at this time, September 7th, 2020. At this time, I purchased a laptop, a gaming laptop, and I got a Steam copy of what do you call it? Tekken 7. And that's what I played on a shitty fucking laptop. It was like a MSI, or not a MSI. It's like, I think it is MSI, right? MSI Predator, some shit like that. And it was like supposedly top notch in the time of like 2019, 2018. I got it for college. So this is a Moon tournament. I used to watch a lot of Moon. And, you know, I would, like I said, I used to watch Overwatch. So he would occasionally host Tekken tournaments. And I would join these. But I would occasionally join like ICFC from time to time whenever I wasn't busy with school, and that's where I got my tournament knowledge. And I also went to whenever there was a local nearby, I went there. But there were barely any locals at my time, man. It was so sad. I remember there was like a Red Bull tournament, and that's where I fought Way Gamble, and I lost. Because at the time, I still didn't get what was going on in the game. Purely on field. Oh, so let me tell you. At this time, I had my little cousin watching me, and he told me to disrespect the people, so I key charged them. I remember that so clearly. He was watching behind me, and I was like, hold on, man. We'll play later. Let me just finish this real quick and get like 20 bucks. So I would, he told me to disrespect, and I did.
1, 2, 4.
It's a sweep and a pickup.
And pickup reset. Into the throw.
Damn, dude. I'm getting my fucking ass beat by Kazumi. Kazumi is top tier at this time.
On blue. Oh, wrong punish there.
Oh my god. He got the counter hit.
Good kill. Oh, just
Oh my god.
and goes for the unblockable.
That's not even unblockable, guys. Dude, do you see this? This was Lars at the time. Key charge 2 was not an unblockable. It was just a bait and switch. Pretty much what happened was, I remember my cousin was watching me. I was like, bro, watch this. I'm gonna clutch this bitch. And Issei Blue was, what happened was they don't even play that much, right? So the reason why, like, you know, Moon tournaments were just like, it just felt like whatever. It was just so fun because it was like just a community thing, right? But I didn't feel like I was really learning, you know what I mean? I just entered it because it was just like a community thing, and it was so fun, man. It was just so fun to see, like, play with people that actually like your community with, right? So one thing I gotta tell you guys is, look at this. Counter hit 214 was one of Lars's best thing, and I guess we'll go on this in the next Tekken video I'm gonna make because this is getting too long. I made suggestions to the devs, and they actually followed that shit. And I didn't even know what the fuck I was really saying, which I thought was pretty funny. I could show you guys a video, but maybe that's for next time. I will just say that Issei Blue was scared. Like, I could tell motherfucker was panicking. Look at this no round brown. So, when you kip up here, it's launch punishable. So he expected me to punish, but I said, oh shit, let me just have some fun. So, you do key charge 2, and he high crushes, right? He ducks down. It's fucking hilarious, dude. But,
I can't believe
yeah, at the time, that's what had happened.
See that every time.
Moon is pretty cool, but we'll leave the links down to these videos if you guys want to watch more. But yeah, at this time, I will just say that I think in the next video we'll leave off at what happens next.
No,
So yeah, this is like on Steam, first time on Steam, and that's when I started to be able to play with the community. Because like I said, there's no crossplay, so if you're on PlayStation, you're left behind. You can't enter. So it was pretty fun, man. I think we'll go more into my Tekken journey in the next video, but I think we'll end it here for now. So at this time, I will just say that I learned some frame data, but I'm not sidestepping yet. I understand how to use Lars really well, though. I understand like his commands, his movement, sort of, but I'm not sidestepping, and I don't really understand character matchups. So we'll leave it there. And, you know, next Tekken journey, we'll see where we go from there. That's all. It's just this video's getting long now, so I'm gonna end it here. Screw it.